My man Kratos asks, is there anyone more powerful than you?
What a foolish question. There is no being, no Pokemon, no one, nothing more powerful than I.
BattleDroid0047 asks, Carol, do you find your job/life rough having such an intimidating exterior?
It isn't too bad as one might think. I mean, it was for a while when Kelly and I first moved into town, but with time, the Pokemon got to know me and how I am. So they know that my appearance doesn't necessarily mean that I'm violent or out of sorts. Occasionally, though, there's that one new Pokemon in town that screams in terror or, gets extremely jittery whenever I serve or grab their order. It's gotten to the point where it just brightens my day every time. I get a kick out of unintentionally scaring that poor fella.
Waterlord asks, is Alejandro a furry?
Sin City wasn't made for you. Angels like you.
No.
Lucky the Vaporeon asks, to Alejandro, do you have emotions?
Also no.
To Diego, hope you don't mind me asking how big is your family? I know there's you and your mom, but is there more?
Well, it's just me, my mom, and her sisters, Kelly and Carol. I know what you guys are thinking. Yes, I know Hydragons and Genkars aren't in the same egg group, but the truth is, none of us are actually related to one another. My aunties and my mom grew up together in an orphanage, and my mom, well, I don't really know how she got me, but I'm happy to be her son, and to me, that's all that matters.
Waterlord the Mew asks, to Clara, how does Jirachi know you so well? If they only awaken once every 1,000 years, are you over 1,000?
Well, I mean, yeah. I'm almost reaching on 1,035 trips around the sun. Your math lines up there, cuz. After I got my first wish from Lil J, I began to see some future problems. These problems would eventually result in the destruction of towns, villages, and the world we live in. So I sucked it up and drudged through the dungeon again so I could gain immortality. It could get boring every now and then if I don't interact with society, but I did that to try and be around long enough to stop these things from happening. Plus, I just can't get enough of Lil J's apple pies. Those are worth staying alive for. Know what I'm saying?
Captain Yo-Yo says, imagine Alejandro using charm/attract.
No, I'm not doing it. It's not even a question. I'd rather get flagged for inappropriate content. And give John and Lucy one more thing to roast me on? No. That is worth jack in this world. Oh, Henry's? Out of all the... Fine, let's get this over with. But you gotta throw in 4. I never said I was including Jirachi in this haul, so pay up, you rattlesnake.
Espy in the Gra asks, Lucy, do you like the other boys?
Nope, just this one.
Aw, can I huggle Alejandro?
Yes, can you make
I will huggle
one,
Alejandro.
I wanna hug him
His
too
moonblast will
instead.
miss, please.
Please, stop.
Just wondering, how would the shiny ones look if they weren't shiny?
I like it, but I think blue's just a better color for me overall.
Not really feeling this color at all.
00X asks, to Cobra, do you have any special phobia you want to share with us? Bluey 2007 asks, Cobra, what is your favorite snake Pokemon? Mine is Sandraconda. Mark asks, hey Cobra, since you are a cobra and all, why don't you have that thing that all cobras have on their neck? You know what things I'm talking about, right? And follow-up question, do you have fangs? AK asks, for real Alejandro, have you been to prison? I feel like you have.
No. Wait. Scratch that. I've been to prison, but in the sense where I went to go visit my grandma. Even when she got out, she just kept coming back, because she wanted to keep hanging out with her old cellmates. She wasn't supposed to go back in there, but the warden and the guards were too afraid of her to tell her otherwise. I really miss her.
Blue Jolteon asks, question for Alice, what made you feel attracted to Alejandro and do you think he has feelings for you?
Oh, I don't know. Like, there's just something interesting about him. Like, sure, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, it's easy for him to come across as standoffish and grumpy. But think about it. If he was actually like that, why would he go out of his way to pretend to be a girl just so he could save some random kid from being embarrassed? I feel like there's more to that rough and unapproachable exterior that he puts up. Almost like deep down, he happens to be a lot more sensitive. So knowing all of that is just for show, I find that really cute.
Chocolate Cello 125 asks, Alejandro's ribbons, do you think Alejandro will be good and follow the doctor's orders to see the specialist about his emotional problems, or are you going to have to kidnap him to do it? If the latter, are you going to basically walk him to the place or swing him there like Spider-Man?
I don't think that would work, given that he's so stubborn.
I do kinda like the idea of swinging him around though. OMG! Mance finally asked us a question.
I'm hungry.
We're really worried about him. Like, we don't know what happened to him, but we can feel all of his pain. Like, physical and emotional.
What are you two down there talking about?
Bro, how can we be hungry if we don't even eat?
Beats me. All I know is that I want to chow down on some grub. You know what I'm saying?
Is it weird that hearing all of that made me feel hungry, even though we don't eat?
Maybe it's because Alejandro was also hungry.
We were just talking about that.
Wait, how do we hear if we don't have ears?
Mr. Tian Note ask, tea or coffee?
I like my coffee like how I like my women. Ice cold.
And I like my coffee how I like my men. Black.
It's crazy how you two make coffee sound so disgusting for me. Thank God I prefer tea over any of that noise.
But Alejandro, isn't that because you like your tea how you like your women?
Like my what? I'm not following you.
Made of leaves and easy to spread?
Music Master and Skullman X asks to everyone, what's your taste in music?
Literally any song by Imagine Dragons and Vicente Fernandez.
Oh, call me Army. I love me my BTS. 사랑해.
Yeah, I'm not like the other two. I'm not really the type to stick to one band or a singer. But if I had to pick a common genre, I mostly listen to rap and electronic music. Could range from K-Dot to Zed to Drake.
Jordan Go to Sleep asks, to Alejandro, so do you have happy memories from your childhood or something, or were you always this grumpy?
Well, back in my old home, there was this one time my dad decided to take my sisters out hunting for the weekend. I couldn't go because, at the time, I got sick, so I ended up staying at home with my mom. And that weekend, it was raining, and one day, the entire town experienced a blackout. So my mom and I just sat on the couch and watched the cloudy and gray sky slowly get darker and darker. The window was slightly open, and a gentle yet cold breeze flew in every now and then. The rain eventually pattered down ever so slightly, but it was just so calming that our laziness made us decide that it was better not to close it. But we weren't lazy enough to get ourselves a blanket and make a batch of some hot, piping chamomile tea, and continued gazing onto the outside from our window. My mom and I just sat there and ended up talking for hours and hours, until the both of us ended up falling asleep after waiting for my dad and my sisters.
Super Play Game asks, to Lucy and John, how was it having Alejandro as a friend before you all got turned into Pokemon? Since he says he has no emotions.
He's not completely emotionless.
But that's only if you don't count anger as an emotion.
I mean, the age gap isn't too big, but he still treats us like his younger siblings. He could be a fun guy to hang out with.
He also doesn't look like it, but he can be quite the helpful person. Also a great listener.
Well said, Lulu.
Oh, not to mention that he lets us use his Disney Plus and Netflix accounts for free.
Sparky asks, Alejandro, how do you feel about John and Lucy?
John and Lucy, they're alright.
Dairu asks, to Cobra, which one is your least quality art?
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no. Look at the top of his head.
Midcardo asks to Alejandro, opinions on the new Popeyes chicken sandwich.
I mean, it's alright, like, overrated as in my opinion.